Being Hearts and The Lark from their 1985 LP, The Storm. The saxophone player in the band is, of course, Keith Donald, whose career stretches back an unbelievable 50 years. And now that half-century has provided the backdrop to a new stage play called NewBliss. It's in the John Hewitt Summer School next Thursday in the Marketplace Theatre in Armagh. And I'm delighted to say welcome to the Art Show, Keith Donald.
Thank you very much, Mickey. It's good to be here.
Oh, it's absolutely great to hear you, and it's great to hear that music again. You've had a good musical life. This NewBliss is going to be about your life. It's a great musical life, but an interesting thing I found was that it started at the age of 10 on the BBC.
It did indeed. And,
explain that.
It was slightly longer than you said there in the intro, because that was 1955.
1955, well, you see, but
60 years.
It's always confusing whenever you get to a certain stage that they all just condense into 1 year. So at the age of 10, tell me about that.
Okay, my Aunt Biddy lived in the Upper Newton Ards Road in Belfast, and her next door neighbour was a BBC producer, and she told him about her nephew who played jazz on the recorder. And I was asked into a programme, children's programme, to play jazz on the recorder on the BBC, age 10.
And that was the start of it?
That was the start of it, yeah.
I have to ask you, though, about NewBliss, the title of it, because it is about your life. It's about the ups and downs, you know what I mean? It seems to be a fairly honest portrayal. But the title intrigued me. What, NewBliss?
Okay, NewBliss is a town in County Monaghan, and the theatre piece NewBliss, which I've written, is about two things really. It's about my life in music, and it's also about my life as an alcoholic and recovery from that. Right. And I had an experience in NewBliss, County Monaghan, which was life-changing. And further than that, really, you'll have to come and see NewBliss to get the whole gist of it, because it would take me 10 minutes to explain it to you. Yeah.
So it's Monaghan. Well, you mentioned alcohol there because, as I say, it's the ups and downs. Now, musicians and alcohol, it's not an unusual combination. I assume it became a problem?
It became a horrendous problem for me. Like every alcoholic or addict will tell you, it's the lowest point of their life, and recovery is not easy, and it's not guaranteed either. It's tough. So I was lucky. I've met some people who helped me along the way, and I've been sober now for 24 years, and life just has got better and better and better since then.
Was there anything to do with being a musician that caused it? Was it the proximity to alcohol, or was it something further back than that?
I think it was further back than that. I think it was. I was an alcoholic from my very first drink, and I've heard a lot of my fellow alcoholics say exactly the same thing. I mean, if you give a drink to 100 kids aged 14, 98 of them will be fine with it, but there'll be a couple in there, and it changes something inside them, and they will identify that later, but not at the time, and their life is potentially downhill from that point.
So that would be the downs of it, let's say.
Yes.
Talk about the ups. I'm sure it's a stage play with some good crack in it as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've had a wonderful life in music, and I've travelled far and wide, and I've had the crack with everybody. Yeah. It's been absolutely wonderful, and I've got to see some extraordinary places, and I've got to meet some wonderful people too. It's just I've been very, very, very lucky.
You're going to do an excerpt from it, from NewBliss, for us on the Art Show, and put this into a wee bit of context for us.
Okay, well, this is what we were talking about. It's me aged 8 to 10, and my parents put a recorder in my hand when I was 8, and this wee excerpt will kind of explain what I was about then.
Okay, go up to the microphone. Probably what they said to you in 1955, or whenever you were away. Go up to the microphone there, Keith.
Okay, will do. Nobody told me what I should do. Nobody told me what not to. So I figured out tunes slowly, by ear, until every single note came clear, practicing hard day and night until I had those 1930s tunes right. But there's something else that jazzmen play. I tried to find it hour after hour, day after day. It's like they play the tune, and then they never play the tune again. They go off and into this other thing that only Louis and Ella sing. It's like an alternate melody. How could I solve this mystery? So far from jazz, and yet so near. Puzzlement for nearly a year. Until one day, enlightenment. What if I tried to experiment? I could make up a tune beat by beat and time it out by tapping my feet. If it's right, my ear will know and tell my fingers where to go. 10 years old. It's really me, playing jazz on the BBC.
That's very good, Keith. So is that Three Blind Mice done in a jazz style by a very small child?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And that's the recorder, is it?
That's a discount recorder, yeah.
The much maligned recorder.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody hates it, but it's a great wee instrument.
Is that where you started, yeah?
No, I started in ukulele. And I started in ukulele aged 5, and I think I drove my parents bananas because I started singing all their favourite songs at age 5, and it was not nice. So they stuck something in my mouth.
Oh, yeah. It could have been a dummy, but you were probably too old for the dummy. So say, here, this is a recorder. Shut up.
Exactly.
You must have been a precocious child. I assume the saxophone will make an appearance on stage as well, I hope.
It does, and the clarinet, yeah.
Great, okay. Well, listen, NewBliss, it's a one-man show with Keith Donald. Next Thursday, 7:30 in the Marketplace Theatre in Armagh. It's part of the John Hewitt International Summer School. It will be something that a lot of musicians here, and I was going to say ordinary people as well, normal people as well as musicians, would love. Keith Donald, many, many thanks for being on the Art Show.
Thanks, Mickey. Thank you.